They spent nearly 9 decades side by side to sisters who moved like mirrors, worked like partners, and lived as if one heartbeat powered both of them. But this week, the world woke up to a decision no one saw coming. Two legends, united in fame and history, choosing to leave on the very same day. And it left everyone asking the same haunting question. What could drive two icons, after a lifetime of loyalty and success, to make such a synchronized final choice? When DGHS confirmed that the sisters had chosen a peaceful, assisted exit, it stunned fans across Germany and Italy. But the decision wasn't sudden. The twins had reached out to the organization more than a year earlier, quietly becoming members and preparing for a moment they believed needed to be shared, not faced alone. Online discussions quickly filled with speculation, whispers about possible health worries, fears of one sister being left behind, and the kind of emotional dependency that only lifelong partners can understand. But DGHS made one thing clear. This was a long-planned decision, made calmly, thoughtfully, and without any sign of crisis. For Alice and Ellen, the real fear wasn't aging, it was separation. They had lived every chapter of their lives side by side, and the idea of one leaving first was something they openly admitted they couldn't bear. Even their final wish reflected that unity. They asked for their ashes to be placed in the same urn, joining their mother and their beloved dog. But their final decision makes more sense when you look at the lives they lived long before their names lit up stages across Europe. Alice and Ellen were just two girls in ballet school, training with the kind of discipline that would later define their careers. Their story took its first dramatic turn in 1952, when they fled East Germany and stepped into a new life in the West. Within months, the Lido in Paris recognized what everyone would soon see. They weren't just performers, they were a phenomenon. From that point on, their rise was almost unstoppable. They represented Germany at Eurovision in 1959, charmed American audiences on The Ed Sullivan Show, and even graced the cover of Life magazine. Their world became a whirlwind of spotlight moments and friendships with giants like Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, and Fred Astaire, proof of how seamlessly they fit into global stardom. But Italy is where they became legends. They broke ground as the first showgirls to appear on Italian television, carefully navigating strict conservative rules while still becoming the faces everyone remembered. Their legs were so iconic that the media called them the legs of the country, and when they posed for a well-known Italian magazine in the 70s, the issue sold out in mere hours, another reminder of the cultural force they had become. But behind the bright stage lights was something deeper, a connection most people never knew about. In mirrored, connected apartments, not out of necessity, but by choice. Every day at noon, without fail, they met for lunch. It wasn't a habit, it was part of who they were. Their routines matched, their projects stayed joint, and their lives continued moving in sync, long after their era of fame had passed online. Fans often described them as one soul in two bodies, a phrase that captured how inseparable they appeared. And in many ways, it was true. Their careers overlapped for decades, and even in their later years they continued performing together, joining musical productions as recently as 2015 and 2016. When news of their passing broke, their hometown of Grimma honored them with a heartfelt tribute, and both Germany and Italy entered a quiet wave of mourning. People didn't just remember their talent, they remembered the bond that shaped everything they did, and in the end, that same unity influenced their final decision as much as any moment in their lives. It's rare to see two global stars stay perfectly aligned for nearly 90 years. Rarer still to watch that same bond guide every chapter of their lives. From their rise on European stages to the quiet routines they shared long after fame stopped being the headline, Alice and Ellen lived as partners, not just performers, and their final choice echoed the same loyalty that carried them through a lifetime of success and struggle. In the end, they left the world the same way they entered it, together. And it makes you wonder, were Alice and Ellen simply entertainers, or were they a symbol of what unbreakable devotion really looks like?